Italians and other nationalities are often bewildered by the fact that the British say everybody thinks that they have a right to do something. On paper, this is a grammatical error, but it is part of English usage and it is completely acceptable. This construction is called the singular they. And the reason why it is used, I think, is to avoid having to specify that everybody is he or indeed she, because people usually say he, and this is considered disrespectful and sexist to the 51% of the population who are in fact female. But the singular they is far older than feminism. It goes back many centuries, and there are examples by many famous British authors who have used this. One is Jane Austen, but the most striking example is the greatest writer of them all, William Shakespeare, who said in A Comedy of Errors, Act 4, Scene 3, "There's not a man I meet but doth salute me, as if I were their well-acquainted friend." And so if Shakespeare makes this mistake, and he made this mistake 400 years ago, 300 or 400 years ago, it is perfectly acceptable. Indeed, most English people say everybody thinks that they, and if they hear somebody saying everybody thinks that he or she, they invariably imagine that it is a German tourist whose English is too good. And in fact, if you say everybody thinks that he, it is proof that you are in fact a foreigner. So don't be afraid of making the mistake everybody thinks that they, because it is no longer considered a mistake.